So as of Thursday, October 18, I was diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma. The journey has not been great. I was sitting in the tub back in May of this year, and I was taking a bath, and I felt something on my butt. And I said, that's odd. I felt that it was, well, obviously it was a lump, but it was odd. And I got out of the tub, and my mom happened to be visiting, and I went out there, out here in the living room, and I had her feel it, and I was like, that's weird that it's a lump. And that night, Charles was working, and so you pet the cat with a spatula. So then Charles was working, so the next morning when he came home, he's like, oh, it feels like a muscle. Go check it out at your primary. And at the time, I didn't have a primary. And so a new doctor came to town. Why are we frustrated? Well, when I'm done, I will help you, because we don't want to hear frustration, right? A new doctor came to town, and I got an appointment with her and did the checkup and everything, and she said, oh, it feels like a muscle, and walked out. And but my gut instinct said, I don't think this is a muscle. I ended up having a massage a couple days later, and the massage therapist was like, this is not a muscle. So a couple weeks later, I go to the dermatologist, because every year I check on my moles to just make sure that they're not cancerous or anything to that extent. And Dr. Sheftel is my dermatologist. So anybody who wants to go to an awesome dermatologist here in Tucson, Dr. Sheftel is the best for me. He checked out my skin, which was okay, but I do have some dermatitis. And he said, for that reason, is there anything else you need? And I said, yes, I have a lump on my butt. Can you check it out? And every time I say it, I laugh, because it's so odd to where the lump would be, the location. And so I waited a month. So I saw him, I think, in May, and I got the ultrasound, I think, in July. And the results came, and it said it wasn't a lipoma or a cyst, but there was a little bit blood flowing through it. And Charles's response was, well, it's not bad, but it's not terribly good. We don't know. And so I just so happened to have an OB appointment a couple weeks later, and I saw Dr. Erin Sperry. And if you guys need a good OB, Erin is really good. She ended up ordering a biopsy, but in the mix of ordering the biopsy, the results from the ultrasound came back, and the dermatologist saw the results and called a surgeon without even telling me. But we were going to do a biopsy at another surgeon's office, and so out of the blue, I ended up getting 2 calls from 2 separate surgeons' office, and I chose Dr. Melser. So if anybody needs a good surgeon, I would go to Dr. Melser. So when I went to him, he ends up working with Charles, and he said that if you were my wife, I would want you to get an MRI first before a biopsy. And he didn't want to just go in there and take this out, because what if it was more than it needed to be, or whatever that extent is. Anyway, so I what did I do? Because we're trying to leave for school. And I went and got the MRI. And I tell you now, if somebody who never sits still, we never sit still. Do we sit still? No, we never sit still. And it forced you to sit still. And as I'm sitting there in the MRI, they ask you if you want to hear music, and I asked if I could hear some Chris Tomlin. And literally, if any of you know who he is, his song's just right here. And I laid there, and I was forced to lay still. And something came over me, like Like, it finally hit me that this could be cancer. A week later passed after the MRI, and they said it was nodular fasciitis. So we're thinking, okay, well, we'll just meet up with Dr. Meltzer again and have it removed. But when the results came, Dr. Sperry called the OBGYN and said, let's still go ahead with a biopsy. So we went ahead with it. And let me tell you, that hurt. But we did it. And as I'm laying there getting it done, I can hear the person collecting the sample. I want more. So they ended up getting 3 big samples. And life, right here, life. There's going to be an issue. So then I wait 10 days, and Dr. Sperry calls me back at 5 p.m. last Thursday, or Wednesday. It's probably Wednesday. I'm sorry if I said Thursday. Last Wednesday, and tells me that it's B-cell lymphoma. And the weekend rolls, because nobody works on the weekend. And yesterday, which was Monday, I get all these calls, and I have to call these places because I find out as a cancer person, you're allowed to have a second opinion. So I had to find all these places on who to call, who did the biopsy. Hey, not now. So that's where we're at. And yesterday, Dr. Meltzer calls to try to tell me about the biopsy report, even though Dr. Sperry had told me the week before. And I listened, but you know what that man did? He expedited the oncologist's appointment today. He was about to go into surgery, and he was like, this can't happen right now, because I personally do not want to use Charles as my husband's a doctor, let's go use him, blah blah blah, even though everybody is telling me to do that. I don't know, that's just not my style. I appreciate all the prayers that everybody has said for me, and messages and things like that, and this is only the beginning. And I want to be happy for them, because I prayed to be a mom, and I'm meant to be their mom. But ultimately, I'm really scared. I'm just really scared. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna keep posting on Facebook or maybe just YouTube things. So, thanks for watching.